Hello everybody, I'm back with this journal making. I've put some pages together, and they're just the normal kinds of papers that I use. I'll have a look through them in a minute, for each of my journals. And so far I have 3 signatures, 2 bags. In each signature I have 11 pages that are full, but once they're folded, it'll work out around 64 pages in the journal. 64, I think the middle one has less, 64, yes, not, yes. So I'll just flip through the first signature so you get an idea of the variety of papers I've used. I've used this grey-blue colour. I think that will be fine for Christmas. There's blue stripes in the pages anyway. I like blue, it doesn't worry me at all. And it can look quite Christmassy. So that's a calligraphy paper. Then we have nice thick quality, I suppose you could say copy paper, but it's much thicker than copy paper. Different varieties of papers, and these have all been found at the op shops or thrift stores, so they're all, you know, aged a little bit. And that one as well, which is also calligraphy, from a calligraphy book. So this one, like this has, it's like slants on it. It's to help you with your slant for calligraphy, I think. I think that's what it's for. Never used it. It does throw the eye a little bit, but it's something a bit different. So all those papers you will find throughout the 3 signatures in different orders, of course. Then between each one I have a paper bag that has been tea stained, and I've already, just to hold the shape of the paper bag, I've cut out some of this music. It's not flimsy, but it's not too thick, and it's for writing music on. They come in very large sheets, so I cut that up and put one in each of the pockets, ready to make tags, but it stops the bag from getting too, you know, crinkled or anything like that throughout. So that's what I've done, and it all takes time to do all that sort of thing. I have all my offcuts here, and I will use these to back tags, to, you know, do various things throughout the journal. That's how that music's, oh no, that's the copy paper type stuff. That's it. Yeah, it comes, it's really big like that, and then quite long as well. And this one is from Billy Hyde. I don't know how old it is. Once again, found at the thrift store. So I've got my scraps there that I can use. I also have some bits that were left over from various kits from Lavish laces. I've got this lovely big ledger sheet here, beautifully aged. So I've got a piece of that. That's all I've got left. Oh, and this is the rag paper. I think that's what it's called. I was actually hoping that was doubled, but it's, I don't think it is, no. But I'll use that as well, a little bit there, and I will use that on the pages as well. In fact, I thought maybe these little pieces, maybe the best way for me to use those would, you know, to get full advantage of them, especially this one, would be little bits down the edge of pages. That way they don't get covered too much, and I get to see them. Yeah, that might be a good idea. So every so often I can put a little edge strip on, and I wanted to do that before doing some stitching. So what I might do now is, I've got a ruler here. I might just cut a few strips. I'm using the tapered edge of my ruler here for this. so we've got 3 little ones, trying to keep it fairly even throughout the journal, and I'll keep the bigger piece. It might work nicely on a collage, and the same with this. I'll cut a bigger piece here, and that can go for a collage, and then we'll do some thinner strips. Whoops. I might need to do it that way, I think. That 3, and I'll keep that piece because that has the heading part on it and that. Might do a few of these, a couple of these as well. And 3 on that one. Okay, so let's take our first signature, and we want one of those and a couple of those, I think, don't we? 1 or 2 of those. So if I'm doing something like that, what I will do is I will put one of these pieces in the front half of the signature and one in the second half of the signature at the back of the fold, just to keep them spaced quite nicely, generally in the center somewhere. And if I've got an odd piece like that, I might place that closer to the middle. And the hardest, I think, part about when you're starting a journal is actually the starting of it, because nothing's really been done. But as soon as you start adding something to the pages, it gets easier and easier, and you get in a little groove and things move a lot quicker. So maybe this, I want to be able to see it, don't I? So maybe that could go there. So what I'll do is fold that in half like that, and that, I think, will go around the page there like that. And so I'll get to see that as soon as I open the journal, and I can add to that if I want to. I could bring it down a little bit, so if I wanted to put something here, I can. And to hold that into position before I stitch it, I push it up against the page like that, and then I can just add a little bit of glue. I don't have to glue it completely down, I just have to have enough glue to keep it where I want it to be, like that. And I can do the same on the other side. And this way, if I wanted to tuck a little bit of lace under it before stitching it down, like if where's that? I saw one floating around. You know, something like that. I can tuck that under if I wanted to, like that. Or, you know, put it on top wherever. But first we'll put some papers on. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the exact same thing with all these other little pieces that I've got. Then I'll come back. Alright, so I've done that. And so there's one there at the front of the first signature. And then as you go through, I've just put a piece of the ledger paper there, and then there's the center of the journal here, and then going towards the back there is, where did I put it? There's the other one down there. So the front one is at the top and the back one is down the bottom. And then with a couple of the larger pieces on the paper bag like that, I just folded a larger piece around the bag, And then it's the same here, one at the top, one down the bottom, one in the center here. And the next bag I've done it, but rather than put it on this part, I have flipped it and put it on that side. So they're the same, but they're a little bit different. So that's what I've done so far. So I've still got that nice piece left there, so that might be saved for a tag or something like that. I've also got this, which might be nice. Especially it's got the blue and the red on there, which is really nice, and a couple of numbers. So what I might do is just rip that down there like that. And although this is thick, it's still old, so we need to be careful with the papers. And what about a couple of like tabs? Let's have a look, see what we can do. So, okay, so I could go like have a tab here. And have it coming out a little bit like that. So it's not sticking out of the journal at all, because then they might get a little bit damaged. Like that. Now what I can do is just pop a little bit of glue under that. That way if I want to stitch over it, I can. Or if I want to staple it, I can. But this will just hold it there for me, just like the other pieces. And the same under the back of it as well. Just a little bit of glue there. Okay. We want one at the back as well. Maybe. Do we want it on the same paper? We might not want it on the same paper. I might put it on that one. Like that. And I like that little edge, you know, where it's come out of the middle of the journal, the ledger, sorry. Try and keep it fairly straight. Okay, so that's in the first signature, but what I might do this time is skip the middle signature and go directly to the back signature and do the same sort of thing here. I could put it on the same color paper as I put it on before, or I could put it on, I don't want to get, oh, I can do that. It's got a thing there. I could put it there. It's okay to cover that up a little if I want to. Maybe down. Yeah, maybe down. Put it there. come towards the back. There's no numbers on this one, so I can do it whichever way I want. I'll do it there, like that. Oops, a little bit crooked. That's better. Like that. Then maybe with my center signature, I've got this little bit here that I've cut off. Maybe I could just like put a small tab there. That one can be moved down. That can be moved down a little bit, and that can have a small tab there. Could have a button on it when I'm done. And going towards the back more, finding there's a small one there. I could have another either tab there as well, I think. Yeah. Like that. And put that back in the middle so I keep them in the order I want them to be in. Okay. So I was just looking through, sorry, I had to stop the camera for a moment. I was just looking through these little scraps here, and there's this particular one here that I think will look nice in here. It has that lovely blue-green effect to it, and so I'm going to work out which paper it was in the paper pad, because it looks like it's got little stars on it, which of course, because it's the paper line is the astrologers. There it is there. Okay, let's take a sheet of that, because that's really quite pretty, and it might work nice for Christmas. Now, this Christmas journal isn't going to be over the top. Well, I say that now. It's not going to be over the top Christmas, but that can change. So perhaps I won't say anything. We're just calling it a Christmas journal. And the only thing Christmassy on it at the moment is the brooch on the cover that says "Let It Snow." It's not over the top just yet, but I'd like it to get some more Christmas elements in it. And they're the sorts of things you can add yourself as well, aren't they? But we will get there. What is that? Let's see, it's got this little, I think they're like symbols, but because they're so faded, they actually look like little stars. So I think they may work well as well. So I'll put a sheet of that to the side. Because they will be nice to use, I think. We don't want too many edge strips, but we could put it around the bottom of the pages as well, or even just along the bottom like that. But there, it's just a thought I had, and I thought, well, I better get some, put it aside to start with. Now, I might play around with a little bit of lace. I love this. I love this. It's so old and shabby looking. It's just, it's lovely, isn't it? Maybe I can use that on, oh, could put a bit there. It'd be nice on tags too. Go there, or it could go there. Oh, that looks quite nice. Okay, now I have these coloured paper clips that I use. And I think I got this idea from Artie Mays a long time ago. Where, hang on, let's make sure it's the right way. Yeah, she just clips things in like that, because it's a bright colour. I don't know if she used bright colours or not. It's a long time ago now, but I've used it ever since, just to hold it in place until I stitch or something. That way I know what to do. So use a little bit of this. So, but I do like to stagger things, you know. I don't like things too, the same thing too close to another same thing. So if I use this here, I could, there, or even there. Let's just cut a piece off, like that. And I don't want to rip this because the actual fabric might rip the wrong way because it's quite fragile. And this way, if I change my mind, I can move it as well before it goes into its final position. That's the wrong way, I think. It's hard to tell because it's so old. It doesn't really matter. I mean, if you can't tell at first glance, then it doesn't really matter, does it? Okay, I will skip the middle one with it, and I'll just use it again on the third one. And that one could even come out a little bit. Doesn't have to sit right on the paper because there's all that space there. You know that it could even have like that attached behind it. Although then you would see that, and that's quite dark, isn't it? So there. Let's skip to the back there and see what's happening here. And like I said, I can put a bit of that on to some, I could use it that way as well, onto some tags. Alright, so we've got that. Oops, look, see, I just caught that one. So let's use that one next. It obviously needs to have some attention. It's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. Almost like a little fence, isn't it? So, take our first one and see what we could do with that. I could use it down here. that. That one there. Just put it once in there. This one I could do it all the way down if I wanted. Have it there, like that. Okay. We'll put it at the back of this one perhaps, somewhere. Somewhere. And we'll put that one there. Like that. That way I can, when I stitch around my pages, I might not stitch around every single page, but I can stitch the lace in place then, rather than using glue and stitching. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that. Sometimes do that too. And there's this one. This one's pretty, isn't it? I do like that one. Even there, like that. What does that look like? Like that. No, not there. It's got age marks on it. It's okay. I don't mind that at all. Just the right way, that way. Okay, so what this one's going to happen is I'm going to put it on the top there. But I've cut it enough that it will wrap around to the other side as well. Okay, that's that one. And I'm quite sure I said these were all from Lavish Laces, didn't I? There or there? there. Okay, so there. And this one can go around the bottom of this, I think. Like that. And when I'm sewing them, I might decide to put a little bit of paper in with it as well. Like, let's have a look. You know, I might just rip a little bit of paper off and pop that in there with it as well, if I feel like it. So just pinning it there just sort of gives you an idea of what you might want to do, which is changeable. And this one, I might even just put it across the top of this pocket, like that. That could be nice. So I'll cut it. I've been cutting them just a little bit bigger than what I need. There we go. That can go across that pocket, and a little bit left. Like that. And the same thing here, you know, if I wanted to do that and have a little bit of paper coming down underneath the lace or something, I could do that quite easily. So I'm going to rip that. Okay, so we'll do one more lace on camera, and then what I think I'll do is perhaps what was I going to say? Can't remember. Do the rest off camera, sorry. Alright, I've got these two pieces of lace here. I think they're from the grab bag. Well, they could have been from the applique. It's that one. That one's an applique grab bag too. I think they're from that. They were just like end pieces of lace, but they're quite usable. So let's have a look where we can use them. And sometimes when you start, it's sometimes advisable to go from the back too, so you don't always get all your bright ideas at the front of a signature. Like that can quite nicely go there. It could make a pocket with some vellum or just another piece of paper. A piece of that under there would be nice as well. I'd probably use that on top of plain paper though, just to add colour to the plain paper. And on something like this, I just might use offcut of that. No, I wouldn't. It actually looked nice on that, didn't it? It did look nice on that. So maybe we'll do something like that. So let's just, I'll just fold it over because I can have that folded over and I can stitch that there as well. Just as a little part of a decoration. So we'll do that with that one. And then we'll skip the middle one again with this one. And make a pocket, perhaps just, where was that? That was on the outside, so we'll, and on the back, so we'll do this one here, I think it went that way, didn't it? Yeah, okay, so that's how we'll do this one. So this same, but just reversed around like that, and then we'll find something to put in the middle one. What we got here? I've got this. I've got this lace. Did we? Oh, we've got this pocket. That could go there along that pocket. Okay. So I can take a piece of this. I keep wanting to put it the other way, but it's not. It won't go the other way. Put that across there like that. And cut it a bit bigger so I can place it properly when I'm ready. And just like before, I'll fold that over. There we go. Okay, so I'll probably, what else is there here? That is generally what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to add bits of lace in where I think they might go. Not all the laces that I want to use, but just to get me started. Then I will stitch around the pages in either a straight stitch or a zigzag, or you know, whatever takes my fancy. Perhaps not on every page. I've got a grey kind of colour in the sewing machine at the moment, so I might stick with that. I can use these on tags and things, or on tuck spots or pockets and things like that. I'm just seeing what other laces I've got here that I haven't used. I've got this lovely piece. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? That's really pretty, isn't it? And I've also got this beautiful crocheted one here as well that I can use. The colour's right for it. Even though the outside isn't that kind of yellowy, you know, the inside has that vintagey kind of look going for it. I don't want to go too white with it. Also, this is beautiful, isn't it? It's really, really nice. But another thing I can do now as well, before I go off, is with some of these offcuts here, I can take one of these, that one, that's fine, and I can, like, do that. Do that. One more. I want to use those ones a bit thicker. Do that one that way as well. Like that, and just seeing what I've got in other older scraps. It's a lighter weight paper. I can use a bit of that as well. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so what, is there another one there? Yeah, or even your page ends you can use for this. So let's take, for example, see how that's the bottom of a page there. Very brittle, that one. You can use that sort of thing as well, which is really nice. Okay. And what I do with those, and I do this quite regularly in my journal, is so, okay, that's a 2 pile, that's a 3 pile, that's a 3 pile, that's a 2 pile. A 2 pile, oh no, that's a 3 pile, and that's a 2 pile. Okay, with this sort of thing, what I do is I can just add little blocks. Oops, sorry, you're not in camera. I can add a block to the page like that, and it just gives a little direction for attention. Somewhere you can put a special note. It just makes it, you know, stick up from the page a little bit. It has to be slightly different color to the page. You can stitch them on if you want to with the sewing machine, or you can glue them on. So I generally glue them, and that way I can come back and stitch them as well if I want to. So I'll just, might use a glue stick for this, because sometimes that on the thinner paper, depending on the weather and everything, it can show through, and I don't like that. So we'll use a glue stick for this. Just like that. Okay. And I'll go through, and that's I've got 3 of each of those, so one of, you know, they can go in both, all of the signatures, but it's only 2 of those, which means the outer ones will get those ones, just so they're not exactly the same each signature. So I'll go off and do that, and do some stitching and things like that, and I'll come back and show you what it looks like. Okay, so I'm just about done stitching around pages and things like that, and in my design package I was sent these beautiful cards with lace samples on them. They're really, really lovely, and I've got this smaller one here, and I want something on this page here, so I've just taken the staple out of it. Aren't they pretty? Really lovely. I love the design on the top there, and it's just the perfect size to put at the top here. And then I just had a little look on my desk, and I've got this scrap of sari silk, and I'm just going to attach that, and this is how things start building. See, I put a bit of this lace at the top of the other side. I just zigzag it on, but I didn't want exactly the same on this side, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stitch that on now, and I can add something to that a little bit later, maybe a snowflake or a flower or something like that, and it will just add something to the page, but still plenty of room to decorate or write in or anything like that. So I'll just zigzag that on now. Okay, just like that, and it makes it a point of difference that I can add to as I go on. So I think I have finished stitching things on the papers. So let me just quickly flip through. I've tidied my lace up a little bit because it can get a bit out of hand. So I think, like I showed you that lace, I think I may have added 1 or 2 things, but not much so far. So I have that lovely bit of lace there. I put some zigzag stitching on there, and I stitched around just about all of the little boxes that I glued on as well. So I'll just quickly flip through and give you an idea. I've stitched down there half zigzag, half straight stitch, so that holds that lovely piece of rag paper on. And once again, another box. I haven't stitched there yet because I'm not quite sure exactly how I want to do it, but I can do that as we go along. I stitched the lace to the little pocket there and then stitched up the side and stitched that on, so it's still quite movable. And that little bit of lace there across the top. And see how when you stitch the little boxes on, it also gives a box on the other side as well, so it's quite nice. Some stitching there, and then back the other way for the other side, which is pretty much the same as the first side. That has a little bit of a mark on that little lace, so I will definitely be decorating it, and I will do something down here as well. Of course, there's still a lot to be done, a lot. The other side of the pocket, that's a little bit of lace hanging over from when I stitched this pocket on here. And when I did it, I glued in certain places, let it dry, and then I cut around the decorative paper so that it, see how it follows the scallop, so it's not just straight across, and then I stitched around it. That one I'm not sure what I want to do yet, so I left it. Just did that, and we've got the little pocket, and then just more as we go along. Some pages are not stitched. I can always add stitching to them as I go along there. Like things like this, I might want to add a tuck spot or something like that. So I haven't done anything to it yet. Just a little, I'm not sure whether to stitch it down or leave it as a flip. I'm not sure yet, so I'll leave it and make that decision. There we go. Another little pocket in there, stitched the lace on, but you get the general idea. And pretty much the same going back the other way. And then the third one that's stitched on there. Oh, I haven't. All right, let me show you what I haven't done it on this side yet. I did it before I stitched it on, but it might be a little bit more tricky this time because I've already stitched it. Let's see if we can just, there we go, that came out all right. There's a tiny little like a picot stitch on the edge of the lace, so I'm trying to get my scissors under the picot and just cut around it, which you would, like I did with the other one, I did it before I stitched the pocket on, but I forgot with this one. So, but we can still do it. It's okay. Much trickier this way. There we go. There. Okay, done. But it just looks nicer if it's following the curve of the lace there. Little pocket there. I added this bit of lace as well, which is really pretty, very delicate. I like the stitching. That one we just added. Just some stitching there. And I'm still not sure what to do with that. So that's how far I've got in this video. I think we'll end it there, otherwise they get incredibly long, don't they? I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Tomorrow is Sunday. I'm not sure if a video will be up on this tomorrow. I have my daughter's gender reveal to attend tomorrow, so that's really exciting. See what she's going to have this time. And so if there's not another one up tomorrow, there'll be one on Monday, my time. And I think the next time we come on, we'll add a little bit of Christmas to it, because it's not very Christmassy so far. Let's see how it's looking in the actual cover. Oh, might need to trim a couple of pages down, I think. How did I... Oh, I know what I did. Okay. Oh, well, I don't have to trim the pages down. I can actually... might be able to extend the pages a little bit. The cover a little bit. Yeah, because we've already done our sewing. I'm not quite sure how I did that. I think it's because when it's laid... Oh, I know what I did. I measured my pages like that, adding in the spine, but of course it should have been, instead of being 9 inches, it should have been 8 inches. So I've added a whole inch. A whole inch. Okay, well, we're going to have to add an inch, because look how much difference that is. Well, we'll do that on the next video. We will fix that. I could always do it here, which might be the best option, just to slice it down the middle and extend it out. I will think about it. Everything can be fixed, though. Everything. That's the beauty of crafting. You can fix just about everything. Or cover it with something. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye.